I
Because
dropped the
everybody,
ball.
boy,
So
I'll tell
excited.
you, before, is sneeze a hormone? Who's sneezing on the phone?
That's okay.
Emily, do you have some sneezers down there?
I got a safety injection.
Deep in the heart of it? Don't mess with Texas and don't mess with sneezing. That was fantastic. Johnny, I
Someone
didn't mean
wants
to
to.
interrupt. I think it's very helpful. So that's why I just wanted, before you really get into some of the other things that'll help people really understand how natural this is, maybe we just hit record and then they can go from there. So we'll just give them,
Right. I'm just going to mute some people out because I keep hearing that echo.
I know Jennifer's never sneezed before, so can't be.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, that's a good point. Someone made the point the other day about the hormones. And are you afraid? Is this an invasive thing? And we're like, no, it's a micro dose. The difference between that and the actual injection, especially some of the guys that I'm hearing about on the internet, the guys that are doing the product, a lot of the bodybuilders, they're doing ridiculous amounts. And I said this at a meeting the other night. We had a couple of meatheads. And guys, I just want to tell you what a meathead is in Jersey. We call them Guidos. They're meatheads. They're gym rats. You might have them in all states, but they're guys that wear spaghetti guinea T-shirts and they walk around all jacked up. And they love that they're on steroids and they're very proud that they take injections and stuff like that. So this one guy's in the back of the room, and I said, you know what? With this product, there's no prescription. There's no needles. And he literally yells out, "I like needles." I'm like, fantastic, big guy. So, I'm answering questions for the group, and the guy's like, well, how do you compare this with how many I use? I'm like, guys, do not market this product to bodybuilders, to gym rats, to workout guys that are taking steroids or want to get big. This is not that product. This product is not going to make a woman grow a beard. It's not going to make a guy put on 40 pounds of muscle. It is not that type of product. It's a very, very, very gentle microdose. Again, we're not even ingesting it, putting it on our skin. Unfortunately for us, the delivery system works. It actually puts the product in the system. It lasts for 3 to 4 hours, and then it's out of your system. So you don't have to worry about toxicity. What it does, it has precursors in it, these secretagogues in it, these herbal formulas that help our own pituitary kick in a little more growth hormone. So not only are we adding a little growth hormone, it's helping our own pituitary produce more hormone. That's why we cycle it on and off. We just allow our body to maybe kick in our own little growth hormone. It's got some adrenal support in there too. But again, very, very gentle stuff. Secretagogues and precursors are out there. You're going to see them. You're going to see the Cerevital commercials. You're going to see GF9 on ESPN. It's a GNC product. Nugenics with Frank Thomas. He's in the gym and they're like, "Hey, Frank, you look great. What's going on?" And he's like, taking this product to boost my testosterone. And all the guys that are sitting on the couch with their guts out like this are going, "Maybe I should take Nugenics. Frank Thomas is taking it. And girls are really attracted to him." Okay? It's ridiculous advertising. The difference between that advertising and our advertising is we're doing the advertising. We make money. So to segue into MLM, why MLM? Why not a commercial? What validates the product in a commercial? Nothing. Nothing to me as a consumer says, "Oh, geez, I saw it on TV. It must be real." When have you ever purchased anything on TV and ingested something because you saw a commercial on TV that looked cool? Wouldn't you normally talk to one of your friends or someone you know and say, "Hey, man, have you seen that Frank Thomas commercial for Nugenics? Have you tried the product yet? Does it work?" That's what most people do. Commercial advertising is the biggest waste of money. I'll give you one example. You ever see a movie come out and the trailer comes out and the trailer looks like unbelievable, and you're sitting at home late at night and you're like, "This trailer's insane. Russell Crowe is in it. Christian Bale is in it. There's explosions. There's super unbelievable CG. This is the greatest movie ever." And then someone you know went to go see it and said it was the biggest piece of garbage on the planet, save the $16. And you don't even wait till it comes out on Netflix. You just don't even watch it. You just took $90 million worth of advertising and they just crushed it. So in network marketing, MLM, multi-level, viral marketing, it's a testimonial-driven business. This product is based on the testimonies of real people sharing it with their friends and their family. This works. This advertising works. The old model would be, let's take $12 million budget and we'll put it towards an advertising campaign. We'll do a mailer campaign. We'll do a telemarketing campaign. We'll do a commercial campaign. And we'll spend $12 million in the hopes that we get some customers. Our model is, let's go put it in the hands of a bunch of independent contractors like us. We'll go spread the word, and the company will pay us $12 million commission. That made more sense to me 20 years ago when I got exposed to it. And my first company was a company called Celtech. And I got the model right away. It's leverage. It's total leverage. Every business owner on the planet understands this model. It's no different from multi-level. It's 1% of the efforts of 100 people. And if we can keep sharing this and everybody does a little work, and this is the key for all of us on the phone right now. I want you to understand, that's why I'm leaning in to get serious. This is the reason you're successful. You get a group of people to do a few things every day with consistency over time. And when you lift your head up in 12 months, you'll have 10, 15,000 people in your business. I've seen it before. I've seen my old businesses grow from 0 to 100 associates to 1,000 associates quick because everybody bought into a system. It's easy to buy into a system. It's very difficult if you're trying to reinvent it and say to yourself, well, I was a really good salesperson. I know what I'm doing, so I'm going to do it my way, and you crash and burn. So many people are crashing and burning with this because they're vomiting on people and they're not following the system. All we're doing is sharing a 3-minute video, getting people on a phone call to do a 3-way call with an upline, like myself, like Kevin, like Emily, to answer some questions. And honestly, for $199, how could you not try an anti-aging product that could quite possibly make you feel and look better, may help you with a little inflammation of your elbow, your back, or your knee, your feet. And then ultimately, if it works for you, do the business. Try to just share this with other people, because if something works for you, you don't sit on it. You don't sit on a great bottle of wine and not tell anybody, I found the greatest $15 bottle of Cabernet, and then you don't tell any of your friends. You tell everybody, have you tried blah, blah, blah yet? It's a Napa, it's a small producer, it's only $15, it's a killer bottle of red, it's the best $15 bottle of red. You don't get paid to do that. You've been referring people to products, goods, and services your entire lives, and you don't get paid squat for it. And now you have an opportunity to get paid, and all of a sudden you feel icky. Like, maybe I shouldn't tell him about this because this is really working for me. And it's awesome, and it's changed my father's life. He doesn't have rheumatoid arthritis anymore. And you're not going to tell somebody because why? There's a compensation plan tied to it. You're out of your mind not to open your mouth and be able to share this with as many people as possible. We only have 1,600 associates. The MLM industry is completely changed from the old industry. I know people who did, God, Amway back in the day, Avon. You know how long Avon's been around? Since the late 1800s. It's a company that's been around for 130 something years, maybe even longer. You've got Mary Kay, you've got Tupperware, when ladies would run around and have Tupperware parties and they would shake like a plastic Tupperware butter dish sealer. Like I remember that. It was one of our ex-senior vice presidents of one of my old companies. He was big in Amway. His in-laws were making like $300,000 a year with Tupperware back in like the 70s. Now, if you made like $300,000 back in the 70s, it was like you were making millions today, you know? And he told me when they introduced the butter, the dish, the top little plastic container that covers the butter dish, he said women were like standing on their chairs, like doing backflips. They were like swinging the butter dish. And he said to himself, this is an amazing industry. They're excited about a $2 piece of plastic. Can you imagine how excited people are going to be over a product that can change people's lives? So I've seen people make a ton of money, and crazy, like a lot of money. And I think we're going to make more money with this business because of Cerevital, all the products I mentioned. They're doing the marketing for us. They're letting the demographics, they're letting the women and men over 40, they're letting them know that, hey, there's something out there for you that could help you get off the couch, that could get you back on the treadmill, get you back in the gym, help you lose some weight, help you feel better, look younger. I mean, our product already, from the testimonials I'm getting, fibromyalgia, someone with depression feeling better. I've gotten tendonitis, arthritis, foot pain gone, migraines gone. I mean, just people. One of my girls, and she's not on the call right now. I should have sent this to her. She said, you know what, for the first time ever, I got a gym membership. She goes, I hate to work out, but this product has me wanting to work out. She's been heavy set and she's battled with her weight her whole life. And if there is not a stronger testimonial than that on the planet, that she actually went out and got a gym membership because she wants to work out, well, we've got a game changer. The only thing you folks need to do on the phone is share it with people. That's it. The best promoter wins. And the way we do that is we get out of the way. You are the biggest reason, you're the only reason why you're going to be successful or you're going to fail. It's the space right here, right? It's the 6 inches between your ears. You either got the headset or you don't. You're either going to be like intimidated or you're not. You're either going to have, excuse my French, the balls to go out there and spread this. This is what it comes down to. I asked Kevin years ago, I said, Kevin, why were you successful on Wall Street? What does it take? Does it take smarts? Do you need to know the analytics? Is it your education? Is it your connections? Or is it like really balls? Like, do you have that? And he said the last thing, it's all about the guts to go out there and do it. It's about that. And someone sent me this the other day. It was really cool. You'll love this. I want to share this with you right now. And this is why anyone could be successful in this business, because it doesn't take skill. It says 8 signs. Oh no, that's 8 signs of a toxic person. I like that one. Here it is. I like to share all these little memes. 8 signs of a toxic person. Most of the people that don't have my life anymore, I can't tell you how many people I got out of my life in the last 5 years who just didn't serve me anymore and were just toxic and used the hell out of me and were just negative and killed my head so much that I realized I got to get out. All the great teachers say, you are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. It's a fact. You become that group. If 5 friends you're hanging out with all the time smoke, eventually, chances are you'll become a smoker. The 5 people you hang out with go to the gym all the time and are workout buffs. Chances are you're going to get into working out. It's a fact. But this says 10 things that require zero talent. Being on time. Any one of us could be on time with this. You can make an appointment and show up. Work ethic. Yeah. Work a little bit at this thing and you can kill it. A little bit of effort. A little bit of positive body language like, man, I'm so excited about this opportunity. It goes a long way when someone sees that you're plugged in. Energy. Come to the table with some energy. Come to the table with a positive attitude, a little bit of passion. Definitely be coachable. Number 8, be coachable. Just learn why and how people are becoming successful in this business. My last business, I was coached by some of the best coaches, and they just followed their lead. They were successful on Wall Street. They were successful in business. They were successful in their personal lives. I said, you know what? I'm going to follow what you do and try to do the best. Do a little extra and be prepared. That's about it. But being coachable is key. Do you know, my guys, I said this on the phone, my last business venture, we started up in 2010. I was with another company prior to that in 2008. We ran with this $1 million startup and blew this company up and put 150,000 associates in the business in 18 months. 150,000. We have 150,000 HGH jail users in this business. The money, people will be making a profound amount of money. So we went with that company from 2008 to 2007 to 2010. We started with Viridian Energy in 2010. And less than 7 months later, my mentors were making over $100,000 in commission a month. They maxed out at about $320,000. Marketing Energy, which was the margins on energy were like this. We would get an electricity customer, and there was like $5 went into the comp plan. You made $1 override. With this product, you're selling it online, it's $25. More than 20 customers, $35 a customer. Emily could attest. Emily has 100 customers. You get 100 customers buying from your website this product, you're making $3,500 a month just on your retail. Okay, you go out and get one commercial customer like a gym to buy 50 gels a month. And so that's close to $900 in the comp plan. You're making 800 and change. It's one. The difference between someone losing their mortgage or keeping their house, remember the stats about 3 years ago, was about $700. So we want to get people to see the smaller money, but also I want them to see the big money. I don't want them to be afraid of the big money. Anyone that's afraid of the big money, and this is what annoys me about money, I've learned this a long time ago, people that have a real shitty attitude towards money are people with no money. People with money love money. People with a great attitude towards money love talking about money, love talking about earning money, love giving money away. People with money that have good attitudes give people away. You ever hear the saying, money makes you a bigger version of who you are? If you're a big idiot, if you're a moron, if you're a horrible person, you're a bigger moron with money. You're more of a horrible person with money. If someone has a heart of gold and they have money, they become the biggest, most philanthropic person on the planet. They become an unbelievable, unstoppable force. Why? Because now they have the resources to help a bunch of people. If you're poor, you really don't have the resources to help a lot of people. You just don't. If you have the money, good. You want to chime in? Good.
What I was going to say was, and sorry, my phone was going off. Everybody on this call, you brought up the commercial part of this. And then if we were just looking at the business right now after 90 days, there's 1,700 people, right? Emily, myself, and yourself, right? John, you guys, for those on the call, I'm going to brag on him a little bit. He just made ambassador, right? Unless if they missed that at the beginning of the call, John was late because he was getting his crown fitted today, which is good. And,
I was drinking from my chalice before, a glass of mead.
The fun of that is, guys, that is literally, he came in the week before Christmas. So he's been in this for 9 weeks. And when we think about what we're talking about, there's 3 people out of 1,700. Let's just call it 1,700. If we just apply the 20% rule, 350 people are growing this company right now. Everybody here has a commercial relationship. They don't realize it, right? They go to the chiropractor. They go to the spa. They have a doctor that they go to. In the last 10 business days, I've been approached by a number of people on my team. Hey, could you have a conversation with this doctor? He's trying to figure out what this homeopathic HGH is like. Why is it different than everything else? The questions are bubbling to the surface from the retail component, the commercial component, which is all at everybody's fingertips on the call. And the fun of that and what John's talking about, yes, it's great to tell friends and preserve health and friendship. That is the value of this product. You can do that. A lot of your friends may not be business people. Right? They may just sort of sit there and use the product and sort of squat on it for a bit and have to be re-energized. Emily's gone through that a couple times with people to say, hey, could you speak to this person? It'd be really great to still help them understand now that they feel the way we do, what's the business side of this? But we all, if we just sit there like everybody's been coached and continue, we can reinforce it because it's so early. Just make that list of like, here are the friends that I think are business people that really will, once they feel the way we do, take this to a level and be creative with it. And here are the commercial relationships I interact with on a weekly basis that I can just approach and say, in the same manner that I want to preserve health and friendship for my friends, it's same for my doctor, the spa owner, the gym owner, right? The chiropractic. There are a lot of people that have that same need for this that I think if you guys start to realize how early this is and the impact of what John's saying because of the product leading the charge, it's kind of fun because we're right at that precipice of that conversation where you're going to get 2 or 3 gym owners, you're going to get 2 or 3 health spa owners, and all of a sudden your volume is going to be picking up. And then there are your own businesses. Emily's explored that and it's been great, but those are the things that I think people are just on the surface of scratching because they're just unlocking how this product feels for them.
Yeah, that's a great point, Kev. We call it a chicken list when you're doing this business. You'd call it a list of people that you really wouldn't talk to because you think maybe they're doing too well. They're high level. They're not going to think of this little MLM thing, and people scoff at it. They don't understand that there's so many people. This industry is colossal. I mean, it pays out something like, God, I thought the numbers on it were staggering. I saw the numbers on it. It's something like 2 million, or no, I'm giving you the wrong number. Let me get the number and I'll share it with you at another time. But the amount of commission being paid out daily in this business is insane. So you don't want to bring this to the average mom and pop. You kind of want to bring this to high level people that are 6-figure, 7-figure earners, people that own businesses that understand leverage. I was doing it the other day with someone to make a point of Kevin said, bring it to a business owner. And we have that little cash flow quadrant that's in the slideshow, Robert Kiyosaki. And you get to that little business the little quadrant where it says business. And I remember hearing this a long time ago. If you're a business owner, let's just say you have 20 employees, right? And they're working a 40-hour work week. You've leveraged yourself by 800 hours of manpower weekly because you have 20 employees working 40 hours a week. So you've leveraged yourself by 800 hours, which means I don't care if you're in the office on the phone or you're on appointments or you're traveling or you're at the beach with your family or you're having a coffee on your back porch. That week, 800 hours of productivity are coming in. That's exactly what we're doing, but we're not asking someone for 40 hours. I'm asking each and every one of you on this phone right now, on this webinar, for 5 solid hours a week. That's it. If I told you to do this part-time, you would think that's 15 to 20 hours. I'm asking for 5 hours. How many people could you show a 3-minute video in a 5-hour span? How many people could you get on a webinar in a 5-hour span? You could expose at least 20 people to this business weekly and see where it goes. But you have to remove yourself from the equation. You have to ask for help. Play stupid. I do it all the time. I'm really good at playing stupid. Can you tell? You just go, you know what? Take a look at this for me. I'm brand new. I got turned on to this cool product. I'm taking the product. I feel the benefits. It's a 3-minute video. Will you do me a favor? I need to present this to a group of people. This is the greatest one. Tell them that you're presenting to the what do they call it again? Commerce. What's it with the weekly Chamber of Commerce? I have a lot of people that present to the Chamber of Commerce. I go, tell them that you're presenting to the Chamber of Commerce on Wednesday, and you'd like for them to take a look at the webinar on Tuesday night, and let me know what you'd focus on. This way you get people to look at it for you and not for them. When someone feels like they're selling, they're doing this. When you're coming at them with this, they go back. But if you say, hey, listen, Emily, would you do me a favor? I'd really appreciate it. Can you take a look at this overview for me? I just got involved. You're a professional. I really value your opinion. Would you take a look and vet this little product and company for me? And, you know, I hear great things about it. I'm on the product. You want to just less is more. You want to say less to more people, but give it up. Just put the product on, put the marketing material in their hands and say, would you do me a favor? Look at it for me. Take a look at it. It's really interesting. Do you know anybody who'd be looking to leverage a product like this? Do you know anybody in wellness? Do you know any salon owners, any gym owners? Do you know any chiropractors? We just brought in Roman Oben, 13-year veteran in the NFL. Played for the Buccaneers, played for the Browns, played for the Giants. Won a Super Bowl with the Bucs. Roman I met multiple times through Joe, whose partner in his title insurance company is Bart Oates from the New York Giants. Bart won 2 Super Bowls with the Giants and 1 with the 49ers. So their little business called All Pro Title. It's pretty cool. And Roman is a monster of a human being. He's from Cameroon originally. Just look him up, Roman Oben. He's guy 6'4", got to be 325 pounds. And Roman timidly came up to me in a meeting and was like, what am I doing? You know, I'm not doing this right. I'm like, dude, you're this gigantic, this big black dude is a football player. Come on, dude, you should just be scaring people to get into this business. What are you doing? Who are you talking to? What are you saying? And he finally got out of his own way. And I'm like, just go to your chiropractors. You're a professional. You're a professional athlete. You're this monster dude. Tell him you're feeling great. And he is. He's feeling great. His knees are feeling better. So now he brought in a bunch of chiropractors. Now all of a sudden the product's valid. Now we have some medical professionals involved. So we're seeing that, you know, Todd Frazier, who was with the Yankees last year, third baseman, right? Todd Frazier from Jersey, won the 1998 Little League World Championship. Tom Driver. Todd's father-in-law is in our business. I did a meeting for Todd's father-in-law last week. So we're trying to get Todd, we're trying to get some of the ex-baseball community, ex-football community, we're trying to get athletes involved. But I don't really need someone to validate the product. The company has a very, very, very valid product, and our job is to, quite honestly, get over those little hurdles. The MLM hurdle, the pyramid scheme is hilarious to me. And I love hearing it. I love that you sent it out there because people say, oh, isn't it one of those schemes? And I'm like, what do you mean by scheme? You know, as long as we're providing a good or service or a product and money's exchanged and someone gets a product for that, it's not a pyramid. The FTC has guidelines that you have to follow. So when you're a network marketing company, you have to make sure you cross all the T's and dot all the I's. In my old business, we were marketing energy, and everybody kept saying, isn't it a pyramid scheme? And I'm like, pyramid scheme? We deal with the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. We deal with the Board of Public Utilities in 17 states. We deal with 79 different utilities. Don't you think their lawyers would have gone through it and figured out if it was a pyramid or not? Pyramid, pyramid, pyramid. Not a Ponzi scheme. It's not a pyramid. It's just a marketing arm. It's just a distribution model. I like to call it intellectual distribution. We're the distributors, and we get paid to distribute the product. We don't have any overhead. We don't have any inventory. We don't have liability. Again, the liability for using the product goes on the company. The manufacturer, they're buying it on the website, they're getting it, they're going online, becoming an independent distributor. The company assumes most of that liability. They're the manufacturer of the product. But most importantly, go ahead, Kev.
I was just going to say, for most of these people on the call, Emily's, first of all, I've never seen her be this quiet this long. So good for you, Emily. There she is. I knew she would be back. But I would say that the fun for me is like Emily's team is probably 60% of what I am, and I'm a third of what John is. And John's in our upline with Chris Cavadon is probably, 50, 60% of Chris's team. But we're talking about 3 or 4 people, right? So that if you think about how easy this is to connect and continue to work at things, when you talk about the pyramid scheme, I was thinking about my entire career on Wall Street. I worked for the biggest pyramid schemes known to man. So for investment banking, the fun for me was I got paid a lot of money to spend and sit in a chair and buy and sell stocks every day, where the traditional pyramid scheme, you would never assume it's a white shoe investment bank, but here sits the CEO. He is definitely going to do better than every one of the employees in the business, and it was global. We'd have over 100,000 to 200,000 employees, and I'm not sure if everybody on the call has ever worked for a global company that big, but we spent a ton of time doing that. Right? It was always bubble to the top, and we had the biggest scandals known to man. There are still billions of dollars being paid out for not because of the financial crisis, but for fraudulent acts that the CEO was aware of. So I realize there are stigmas that are attached to certain things in the past that either didn't have the product or the leadership that this company has and will continue to have, but it is being led by the product. Very rarely do you get a chance to get a look at a product that has over 90% retention over 14 years and is only going to continue to grow at that level because the product actually works. Our job as marketers of this company is to spend time matching the product with service and marketing, and treating everybody and doing best practices. So, I made Emily laugh before, but, a lot of you on the call have a good relationship, but understand what Emily represents in the Dallas community. She's a tremendous business person. She leads by example. She's driven. And you all talk to me privately, Emily, I don't mean to embarrass you, go, how am I going to become Emily Jackson? Well, the best way to do that, right, is to follow what they're saying here. And she says, oh, Kevin, you're making me blush. What I would say, honestly, though, a prophet is not known in his or her hometown. Sometimes you hear what Emily's saying to you, and you disregard it, and what John had brought up before. It actually was Joe Giuliano who said that to us. So, I get to play him for a day, which is very nice, just because I never logged out. It tells you how much I know about tech.
You are Joe Giuliano.
No, I'm just terrible. But I would just say, guys, these people are the prophets in your own hometown. They're keeping it simple for all of us. I have to remind myself to keep it simple. And you just hand somebody and say, I'd love to have your opinion on this because I care about your friendship and your health. Blake Bozeman, who you guys all know in the Dallas area, that's who told me that, right? I use that in every presentation. It took 3 seconds to say it. And then I just wait for the opinion because I know where this is headed. So go ahead.
No, Kev, thank you so much. I wanted to put this up again because this is the deal. This is the business. This is the model. Distribution it's distribution 101. I was a manufacturer for a beauty supply distributor, a distributor, and I repped this big manufacturer, Draco International, and we distributed the product all over the Northeast and mostly the tri-state area. And you hired 20 sales reps who put it in the hands of thousands of salons, who put it in the hands of tens of thousands of stylists who sold it to millions of customers. It was distribution. With our model, you just go out and get 2 people and teach those 2 people to get 2 people, and we just duplicate that down. But if you saw how viral this becomes, with 2 getting 2, getting 2, getting 2, and it goes from 2 to 4 to 8 to 16, 32, 64, and then you get to the bottom, 12 levels down, which could be 12 weeks from now or 12 months from now, if everybody was just responsible for bringing 2 distributors to the table and teaching them. That's 8,192 distributors. That's 4,096 distributors on each side of the binary times 140 points of volume for each bottle is 140. It's 573,000 points divided by 40, 955 scores. It's $57,000 a month in just volume commission, not check matches. So two getting two, getting two, getting two. You don't have to go out and get 10 people. I got 18, 20 people. You got 30 people, maybe a little more. I don't know how many people Emily has, but we're working. We're showing the plan. At the end of the day, people can't wrap their mind around $57,000 a month in income part-time. They just can't. You know, I was making $22,000, $23,000 a month with Veridian, and Joe and Frank were making $250,000, I would see the checks. I'd be behind Joe, and I would get my little email from the company, and my commission would come in because we got paid monthly. And I would go, dude, look, and he was like, oh, high five and hugs all around. We're down the shore. I'll never forget this. Driving around his convertible Maserati. He had a Gran Turismo. And I was driving in the car, fantasizing like it was my car, like most dudes would do. You're a guy, and you're in someone else's car, and it's convertible, and it's a Maserati. You're thinking, wow, I look really good in this car. Well, maybe I could flex my tricep on the wheel, you know what I mean? And look at some girls and be like, hey, they think it's my car. I'm look cool, yeah. So driving around, we get home, I get the commission coming in, he gets his commission, and he hasn't logged in yet, but I logged in. So I said, well, log in, do me a favor. So I'm over his shoulder, and he's just like kind of doing this, and he presses send, and I see his commission for $246,000 for the month. And I remember the way I felt all day long. First of all, I totally took him for every dime he had in his pocket that day. We went to the liquor store, I bought a bottle of Woodford Reserve, I bought a bottle of tequila. We got a giant jug of vodka, got a case of beer. I bought 4 pounds of prawns, like 6 lobster tails, 6 strips, 4 porterhouses. I spent $700 of his money that day, knowing that was like a nickel for someone who just made $246,000. I'm like, I'm going to spend $1,000 of your money today because you just made $250,000, and I don't care. But what I'm trying to say is, for real, is it left me with this fantasy of what must that feel like to make that kind of money, to have that kind of business. And then I look at this model and the product and how much faster we're going to get to 7 figures. It took Joe and Frank 7 months to get to 7 figures. And I look at this model and I go, well, we're going to be there. Chris Cavadon, who will be, is in our upline, he will be a Diamond Ambassador soon. He will be making that money, I believe, by the summer, maybe by the end of the summer. But each and every one of us are in the driver's seat with this. I have a few months advantage over most of you. That's it. I have a couple contacts that I had that were pretty good at this and knew how to get people up. But I knew people who knew people. And that's all this is. Do you know someone who knows 2 people who would get in the business and spend $199 to get a position? And then share this with 2 other people so we'd have 4 people. Now the 2 you brought in plus the 4 they have, now you have 6 people on your team. Let's take those 4 people at the second level and get them 2 people. Now we have 8 more people. Now we have 14 people. Now let's get those 8 to get 2 more people. And that's all this is. I know it sounds like redundant, but it's 2 getting 2. Teach 2 to reach 2. And how do you do that? You open your mouth. You share the video. You text somebody. You send an email. You say, hey, can I swing by? What works for you? Are you in the office this week? What works for you, lunch or after work? What time? I want to show you something. What is it? Can't show you right now. I got to go. I got to go. You're really busy and you hit somebody with a little info and then get off the phone with them. They lean forward. It's like yin and yang. If you're constantly doing this to someone, they inherently just back up away from you. But if you lean in a little and say, man, I've got something incredible. I've got this new product I'm trying. It's an anti-aging product. It's great for women and men. It's unbelievable. When can you talk? Well, tell me more about it. I can't. I got to go right now. They'll be interested in hearing more about the product because you pulled back. And you go, listen, I'm really busy right now. I got 5 meetings today. When can we sit? And it's all about, getting with them and not, we don't want to kill people with too much information. We want it dribs and drabs. I had a killer phone call with somebody this morning who's doing the business, and he said to me, what am I doing wrong? And I said, well, you probably just vomited on a lot of people right away, and you scared them. And they were like, done. In outside sales, my whole entire life, I realized it was first appointment, second appointment, third exposure, fourth exposure, fifth exposure. They started listening, and I closed them on the 6th exposure. This is no different. If someone blows you up the first time and doesn't want to hear anything, there's a second time. There's a third time. Maybe the 4th time they're ready to listen, and then eventually they listen, they go to a meeting or they get on a webinar, and they get involved. That's human nature. people aren't going to jump on like you did, like Kevin did, like Emily did. We jumped right in. I jumped in like this. I dove in. And I went, let me take the product, let me get on the phone and make a couple phone calls. I had 17 distributors December 31st. I had 47 distributors January 5th. And now I'm at 720 something associates on February, what is it, March 5th today?
It
We're in
is.
pre-launch. We're in pre-launch. You just got to know that you're in the right place at the right time.
John, let me tell these guys something because they might want to have some questions, and then you can unmute and we can hear the cats and the tin foil in the background. Just since we're all here on a verbal NDA, just to share with you guys. So John, as I said before, made ambassador, and is going to be announced tonight on the call tonight at 9 o'clock, and it's good to get in a rhythm.
Thank you. I made ambassador because of Kevin, because of Emily, because of you guys. That's why I made ambassador. No one in this industry who ever thinks they could blow smoke up their own keister and think they're the cat's meow and I'm the greatest and I did it. No, we did it. I got to ambassador because you guys collectively did a little bit, and all that little bit ended up to a lot, and it drove that volume over 50,000 on one side and 95,000 on my other leg. So I want to get to a Diamond Ambassador, but I want to get every one of you to coach and life coach as soon as possible, so then we can take it to the next level. So thank you. I just want to say that from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate your efforts. Appreciate it.
And I appreciate Emily's efforts and everybody's efforts. Obviously, that's the beauty of this. But just to share, if you're okay with it, John. So John was probably averaging between 1,000 to 3,000 a check, and it just jumped to between 4,000 and 6,000 a check because he's hitting the hurdles. Right, 60 days in, he'll start to get his car allowance, which he's very close to. I would say he's been doing this for 9 weeks. It's because he understands the process, right? So Emily and I are right behind him, right, making 5 figures. It's kind of nice. Yeah, there you go.
It went from where it was there, I think 600 there in the bottom or something, and then it just went up, and now this last check is 49.90. So it's close to $5,000 on Friday. I'll make 5,000 on Friday.
Wait, did you hear Emily? 39 minutes. She just laughed. That was one thing. She saw the last number. That's all. Like, for everybody on the call, I can't give you a better endorsement than that. If you want to know what your upline is looking at, it's the economic measure right there. Okay?
5,000 a week.
A week, right.
20,000 a month in the near future. No, in the near future, 9 weeks in. 9 weeks in. Where do you think it's going to look at week 25, at week 50? We're saying people are going to make a profound amount of money because I know the model. I've been down it. I know people who make a lot of money in other companies. I know people in Isogenics making $150,000 a month. I know people in Primerica, my friend Scott Fletcher, $60,000 a month producer for 20-something years. He's made millions, okay? The reality is we have a better product, I really believe, and we have the comp plan and the marketing material and the leadership to help get every one of you there. So don't be like, you look at this and some of you say, cool, that's awesome. And some of you go, I'm already making that money, great. But when you put it into perspective, part-time, how would you like to make just $5,000 a month part-time with this business? An extra 60 grand. $5,000 would pay your mortgage. Some of you might have really expensive houses, and I'm sorry if I insulted you by saying $5,000 a mortgage, but some of you are saying, damn, my mortgage is $2,700. I got 2 car payments I could pay. I could pay my insurance. I could pay my insurance, my car insurance, my car payments, and my mortgage from a part-time gig. Think about how powerful that is. If someone gets frightened by the $100,000 a month situation or the ability to make $60,000 a month in a year, don't be frightened. Don't be turned off. Don't be like, that's icky. I feel icky when you throw those numbers out. People do it all the time to me. At the end of the meeting, they come up to me and say, oh yeah, so-and-so liked it until you guys started talking about the money. And then I know who I'm talking about. I know what kind of person that is. And I go, fine. If they're turned off by the prospect of making $25,000, $30,000 a month, $50,000 a month, then I know who I'm talking to. And that's fine. So let's just talk about making $2,000. Let's talk about paying off your car and your wife's car, your husband's car, your car, your health insurance, maybe paying down the kids' tuition. Let's start with little building blocks, and then we can go from there. I mean, if you're whatever you're comfortable with, we talk. Whatever you're comfortable saying, you say. I say $100,000 a month because I've been around it, and I want to make that. I'm being totally transparent with every one of you guys. I want to make 7 figures more than anybody. I've been around too many people in the industry that personally, I think I blow them away on stage. I know what I do. I'm a musician for 30 years. I'm out there doing my thing, and I'm like, I'm not making that money. I got to make that money. I should be making that money. That's just my own goal. LeBron got out of high school and got $70 million or $90 million from Nike out of high school. He didn't dribble one basketball on the court yet. He didn't have one NBA game, and they gave him $90 million. Why? Because they figured he deserved it. And I mean, Nike probably made $1 billion on LeBron. Okay? They gave him $90 million, and he never played one game of basketball. What makes you think you can't make $10,000, $20,000 a month your part-time income with this model? You're crazy. You're crazy to think you can't. You're absolutely crazy to think you can't.
Well,
Kev just said
nice
three
thing
years.
is, John, when you did go from 2 to 5,000, you got an extra caller. So I would just open it up to Emily, to your team. If there are some further questions,
You got
John,
it.
we can't appreciate it enough. This is your time, and we know you guys have to understand. I'm in contact with them daily. We fight to get 3 minutes in. So the fact that we got an hour and we know where this is headed, it's just hugely powerful. So John,
I'm back to back tonight. I'm in Morristown tomorrow night. I'm in I'm in Staten Island Wednesday night. I'm in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. I'm traveling, guys. I'm putting the miles in now. I'm logging in the miles because I know it's going to pay dividends later on. So you could all have these tiny little hubs of so-and-so's house on Monday, and Wednesday we're doing a little gathering over here. I mean, it's going to happen for you. It's going to take off.
Let's just see if they've got some questions real quick for you, because I know you're going to have to run. Emily, did you have anything you wanted to add?
I know there's one question that a lot of people ask me, and that is that we're in pre-launch now. What does that mean? And, what's going to happen what are they going to start doing? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, so they're going to eventually introduce other products, but to be in pre-launch right now just means that you're one of the early adopters. It's kind of like a soft opening of a restaurant. They're really not marketing. They're not revved up yet in the office to have enough of customer support. It's like it's like a soft opening. So we're just putting this out there. But they didn't realize we would go crazy. We would go a little crazy with it and just start blowing it up. And they were like, oh, hold up. People are complaining about the back office. We need more customer support. I didn't get my product in time. That's what a soft opening is. That's what a pre-launch is. We're not really ready to go crazy. And when we go and open, they're going to have enough of the facility the production will be able to ramp up to 3 million units a month if we get that many customers. They're going to have a team of customer support. They're going to have clinical information. They're going to have a bunch of different marketing information. We want everything right now.
The Doctors Guild, right?
Yeah. My guys like Joe, Frank, and Cavadon, and Amato, and these guys, they're like, let's go now. So that's all that means. It's just we're really not ready to ramp up yet, but I think the official launch will be summertime.
Okay.
Yeah, like July, August, right?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if anybody else has any questions. If you want to open it
You
up.
want to unmute yourself? I can unmute it. And anybody want to raise their hand if they have a question, then I can unmute you? Or go in the chat button. Anybody got anything?
Guys, I would just add, John, we're wrapping up here. Emily, we'll do this again. If you realize it was probably about 20% of your team that jumped on.
Really?
We know in life there's the 80-20 rule. It's one of those things that they'll certainly share with others, but we'll do this again because, part of the fun for us is what John mentioned, right? These are new relationships. There is a certain energy to this business because of the product. And you feel good when you hear back from somebody, hey, I'm sleeping great. Hey, you know what? I don't have a migraine anymore. You know what? Joint pain doesn't hurt me. That's the initial layer of the satisfaction and the pleasure of this product. And then you start to open your mind and say, hey, there have got to be other people out here that are like-minded that would think this way in a business fashion once they feel the way I do. So I think we'll do this and we'll have some repetition and some fun with it. But I would just stress again, pre-launch. There are speed bumps to get through in life. There's speed bumps. You notice the car doesn't stop. It just goes slower over the speed bump.
Right.
So this is not, there are no roadblocks. I have had that conversation before. This is a speed bump, and we're getting faster and tighter and learning as we go and adding more resources as we go. So it's going to get a whole lot more fun. You guys just have to get yourself out on that cliff and say, I'm going to teach two to reach two, like John said, like Emily has told you, and get one on my left, one on my right, and enjoy this and really think about the person I'm inviting to this conversation. Do they have that capacity for business? Do they have that once I give them the energy to be able to look at this? I spent 25 years with sit next to people making a ton of dough, and you would, just like John laughed and said, I cannot believe these people are making as much money, if not more than me. Emily's going through it. I'm sure everybody on the call has. Use that as fuel to understand that you have this power. You've been introduced to this. You've been invited to a great conversation that's not going to stop. So that's where I would end it for me, and I appreciate, Emily, everything you're doing, the team. John, I can't thank you enough, and congratulations. This is going to be a heck of an award. Tell me, what time do we have to get our seats in the royal line so that we make it into the procession?
I just want to say, I'm looking at some of the names: Sean, Nancy, Wynn, Kara, Carrie, Marianne, Art Manzo, welcome to the team, bro. Courtney, Christy, Elizabeth Chickle, and Marissa. Marissa, and all you guys are on that are on the, you guys and girls that are on the phone. Talk about being an early adopter. Emily just asked me, what does pre-launch mean? And I'm like, well, you're like the first ones in. Well, you guys are the only ones on the phone call, on the webinar. So if you think about like pre-launch, and then you go, well, how many people are at a meeting right now? Or how many people are on a phone call right now? Or how many people are, and you just go, you're the 1%ers, the 2%ers that are the early adopters. We're generally the people that makes the most money. If someone's going to wait 6 to 8 months to get involved, the difference between your monthly check could be $10, $15, $20,000. So if it's about the money for some of you, great. If it's about the product for some of you and helping people, great. If it's about feeling good, great. Pick something that drives you. Take that passion, take a little bit of that, and say, why not do something different? I always end with this. This is what I'm going to end with you right now, and I won't talk anymore because I talk too much. If not this, what? What else do you have out there? What else are you doing that you can that may blow up, that you feel you can get behind? So if not this, what? And if not now, when are you going to start up? Those two questions are easy to answer. If not this, what else is out there? And if not now, why do you want to wait? We're in pre-launch, and you're at the right time, at the right place, the right product, right company. And I swear to you, we're going to go to July, somewhere in July. I think we're going to be in Orlando for the national convention, and I think there'll be 2,000, 3,000, maybe 4,000 people there, and it's going to be off the chains. And we're going to be surrounded by a bunch of people. You can imagine what that's going to look like, being in a room with a couple thousand people who are hopped up on this product. It's going to be kind of silly, like a bunch of people going, I feel great. How about you? What's your story? Yeah, buddy.
John, I was just going to say, Emily doesn't realize this, but because she's going to be such a performer by then, they're going to give HGH to Shamu, and she's going to hold a giant sardine up above about 100 feet, and he's just going to literally leap out, grab it out of her hand. That is the showstopper. So, Emily, I hope you have a wetsuit of some side. Just make sure it has EJ on the front so everybody knows before you get swallowed by Shamu.
Fantastic. You guys are awesome, man. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all your effort. This is a family affair. Don't ever think it's anything but this. It's all about building a family. The relationships I've built in this business over the last 2 decades, I'm still friends with some of those people from other companies, years and years. We're like family, and Kevin and I are like family, and eventually Emily, we're just going to get to hang with each other and make money together. And there's nothing better than seeing my buddy Emily and you people being, oh my God, we got another coach. Hey, share your story, and you step up, and then you take the baton, and I pass the baton to you, and then I'm in the background, and I'm hearing your story, and you're sharing it to your team. Then you take a team member and you bring them up. It's all about lifting people up, folks. It's the polar opposite of corporate America. Corporate America is kill or be killed, dog eat dog, eat, I'm going to get you before you get mine. I got to get mine before you get. This is like, wait a minute, I help a bunch of people succeed and we make money together. It's the polar opposite. It's the best model on the planet. So I'm going to leave you go. It's 12:02, 12:01. Peace, guys. I'll get you the recording. We'll see you soon. Emily, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.